Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
This is awesome! This is awesome! Hello and welcome once again to Cheap Shot Entertainment. This video is going to take you through everything that happened at Takeover Blackpool II because I was there, and if you haven't seen me in the crowd, look for hashtag tie-dye guy, and that is me with Woody, Josh and Connor. You've seen Josh and Connor on the show, you've not seen Woody as of yet on the show doing a review for a wrestling show, but maybe that will change in the near future, who knows. Anyway, Blackpool Takeover 2 or Takeover Blackpool 2, NXT UK, WWE, all that kind of jazz. That wasn't the tagline, but it would have been cool. It was in the ballroom. Took place on the 12th of January 2020. We literally sat waiting with computers open to book those tickets. They sold out within 3 hours of going on sale. We got fairly decent seats. The only problem is when you go and see a live show like this, especially a WWE event, with all seating on the floor and everybody stands up, you can't see anything anyway. But the feeling of actually being there on a live pay-per-view was absolutely second to none, and you can expect us to be there for Takeover Blackpool 3 because inevitably this is going to be NXT UK's WrestleMania, if you like. Anyway, there was a couple of matches that got us started before the show started properly on the network, and it was live on the network, hashtag 999, and these matches were really good. They were worthy of being on the main card. We saw A-Kid versus Joseph Connors, a Nottingham East Midlands native, one of my favourites because he basically lived so and trained so close, and trained with Styx, who I talk to on a fairly regular basis when I go to his shows, House of Pain Wrestling. So that's pretty cool. A-Kid, Spanish, endorsed by Tyler Bate as the next big thing. No shot on Brock Lesnar there when he came in as the next big thing, but anyway, he's the next big thing in NXT UK, yet to sort of find his feet. He's had a couple of wins, he's had a couple of losses, and it was no different here. Joseph Connors showed all of his experience in between those ropes, and apart from a couple of moments where A-Kid did come back, Joseph Connors managed to use his ring smarts, so to speak, to pick up the victory with the don't look down in this one. We were losing it, no one else was, and that's probably because maybe we were the only people from Nottingham, the Nottingham area in the crowd. Couldn't tell you whether we were or not, but it was pretty cool. Anyway, second match, we got to see Cassius Ohno. That's pretty damn cool, because I love Cassius Ohno, he's fantastic. And he was going against the bomber, Dave Mastiff. I am not a crook. This match was also absolutely fantastic. I was hoping we was going to see Dave Mastiff on the card. Love Dave Mastiff. He's phenomenal for a big guy, and I love his tribute to Vader, another phenomenal big guy who sadly passed away, I think, last year. But yeah, again, another match between two very established veterans, and after a after a back and forth between the two, the match spilled outside the ring, as you could expect. Both of these guys are very hard hitting. Dave Mastiff did win with a cannonball senton in the corner after hitting a fantastic, and hopefully I've got the video here, rolling senton from the top rope on Cassius Ohno, which was absolutely phenomenal. Really, really good for two big guys to do a move like that in the UK, in NXT UK for WWE, was absolutely brilliant. Anyway, that's the pre-show. We're getting on to the main show now, and the first match is my boy Eddie Dennis versus one half of Mustache Mountain, Trent Seven. It is a tale of the strong style versus a very heavy hitting Eddie Dennis, and quite technical Eddie Dennis actually. Comes in here with a chip on his shoulder, having been out for several months with shoulder injuries, and I really miss this guy. His heel character on NXT is not quite as good as his heel character in the Indies, but it serves a purpose, and I'm so glad that he picked up the victory here, because Trent Seven getting on a bit, love Trent Seven, but he's been there, he's done that, he's picked up the tag titles. Not sure he'll ever sort of reach the heights that Eddie Dennis could. It'd be great to see him get there, absolutely. Like I say, love Trent Seven, but as the Trent Seven Army were chanting the Trent Seven Army, I was chanting Eddie, Eddie, Eddie freaking Dennis, because he's my boy, Eddie Dennis. Anyway, like I say, main show, Eddie Dennis does pick up the victory. There's some heavy spots in this one again that we couldn't quite see. We did see the 7 bomb into the corner after the turnbuckle was removed, although the referee didn't see it, so absolutely it is not proven that Eddie Dennis cheated to win. And saying that, one of my other favourite wrestlers, Eddie Guerrero, using the same first name, his moniker was cheat to win, and people loved him, so why are they getting on Eddie Dennis? But yeah, 7 bomb going to go into the corner. The referee stopped it. He chucked Trent Seven out of the ring, hitting a security guard who duly hit the barrier. Felt really sorry for that guy, even if he was a trainee wrestler. But yeah, that seemed to be the big spot of the match. That would turn the tide of this match for Eddie Dennis, my boy Eddie Dennis. He would then hit a neck stock driver after some more back and forth and pick up the victory here. Huge victory for the Welsh native, the Seven Valley Dragon. Yes, brilliant match, great opener, fantastic match, but it goes onwards and upwards from here. So, and that again was, like I say, it was a fantastic match. UK Women's Championship up for grabs next. Kaylee Ray is your current Women's Champion in NXT UK. Former NXT UK Women's Champion and the lady who she won the title from, Toni Storm, is in one of the corners, and one of my personal favourites in the UK division, Piper Niven, or Viper as I know her as from the Indies, is in the opposite corner. Now Viper has really fought hard, and she's won some very big matches to get to where she is on this card. Even being in the UK Women's Championship picture is a massive step for Piper Niven. She's been there before. She was in the UK tournament, the women's tournament rather, Mae Young Classic. Didn't do very well in that one, which was disappointing. But yeah, she's now arrived in NXT UK and is really making her presence felt. Toni Storm coming back after disappearing for a long time, after losing the title. It's gone a bit nutty. I think she was a bit nutty before, but she's got a little bit more Fruit Loopy, because she is now fighting Piper Niven, who is on her side essentially. But all these ladies used to be best friends, and they played on that best friends angle, and now the treachery and the division between the three has brought them to this point. Fantastic match, really easy to keep up with. There was some very high spots. There was jumping off the top ropes. They were doing tope suicida, suicide dives in English, to the outside, and they hit a couple of those. But Kaylee Ray, always being the sneaky one that she is, would get the victory in this match because it was a frog splash from Toni Storm onto Piper Niven, and Kaylee Ray then comes in and super kicks Toni Storm while she's getting ready to pin and steals the victory. And yeah, that's the end of that match. Again, really good. Would have been nice to be a little bit further forward maybe, so you could see the whole ring. Or maybe, not that you're going to be watching this WWE, just put the ring on a bit of a platform like you used to do. You did that at SummerSlam 1992 and also at Capital Carnage in 1999. So just put that ring on a little bit of a platform so everyone can see the action, especially when it's on the ring mat, because you can very rarely see what is going on. And with modern wrestling as it is today, with lots of dives to the outside, people want to see what's happening. That being said, a fantastic women's match, really bringing women's wrestling to the fray in WWE and from the UK as well, which is always a good thing. So we move on next. It's the middle of the card. It is Tyler Bate, the man of the hour, the guy who picked up the UK Championship. He was the first ever UK champion in that inaugural UK tournament. And he is going against Jordan Devlin. And for me, this gets the hashtag match of the night because it was absolutely phenomenal. I love both of these guys. I think they're fantastic performers. I think they've got fantastic promos. They're also young, very talented, and able to carry NXT UK into the future. I wouldn't be surprised if Jordan Devlin did get a championship in the near future as well. I wouldn't be surprised if he was holding that UK championship. But whilst Walter is still running roughshod over the UK division, I don't see that happening anytime soon. That being said, Tyler Bate did have match of the night at NXT Takeover Cardiff as well with said champion Walter. Came up a little bit short there. He was determined not to come up short here in the crowd. Well, up on the balcony we had William Regal, the NXT general manager. Got Johnny Saint, the NXT UK general manager. Also saw Squid Scala up there, and none other than the man behind NXT, the guy who's putting all the money in and all the talent and all the ideas. Triple H was up on the balcony in Blackpool. I bet you he didn't stay in the same hotel that we did, because our hotel was fine. But just a disclaimer here, if you're going to go anywhere, don't book an OYO hotel, because ours was closed and we nearly didn't have anywhere to sleep. But that was sorted and we still went to the show and it was fantastic. We had a good time and it was great. So don't give any money to OYO. Okay, so this match, full of big spots. My suggestion is any of these matches, go and watch them on the network, because obviously, because I was there, I didn't see a lot of everything that was going on. All I saw was the big spots when they happened and the finishes. So go and watch it on the network. It's on there. I've rewatched it on the network and it's just as good with the camera angles. I'd love to have the ability to have my own camera angles while I'm there experiencing the atmosphere. But that is a thing for another time. Many years into the future. But this match, wow, what can I say about this match other than just wow? That is the buzzword for this video. Wow, what a match between these two. Coming in at odds against each other, Jordan Devlin taking pot shots at Tyler Bate. Just sort of floating around, being vegan. Travelling over to the US, having a couple of matches in NXT over there, losing against Damian Priest, but yeah, I think he's very much firmly NXT UK at this point in time. But like I say, with William Regal, Johnny Saint and Triple H all watching on from the balcony, it would be Tyler Bate that would pick up the victory in this one. Like I say, lots of flippy stuff here. Jordan Devlin gave as good as he got, but ultimately it was a flippy, splashy thing from the top rope that would get the victory for Tyler Bate after hitting the Tyler Driver 97 and Jordan Devlin kicking out. And Jordan Devlin hit his finishing move as well, the Devlin inside rather, and the Devlin side rather, he hit that. Yeah, that makes more sense. The Devlin side. So if you say it quicker, it does work. Anyway, he tried to hit that, he did. Tyler Bate kicked out. This match just went back and forth, lots of false finishes, but like I say, the flippy splashy thing did eventually pick up the victory for the other half of Mustache Mountain, now 50% in this pay-per-view. Great match, go and watch it, take it all in, absolutely brilliant, really, really good wrestling match and a showcase of British style in professional wrestling. So Tyler Bate picks up the victory in this one. We go on next to the ladder match, something that I was really looking forward to, and so were the boys as well. Fatal 4-way ladder match. Imperium, Imperium, Gallus, the South Wales subculture, and who was the last one? Oh wow, that's just oh yeah, Grizzled Young Veteran. How could I forget the Grizzled Young Veterans? Yeah, I didn't write this one down because I was too busy watching the match. So as far as the match goes, definitely. Yeah, it'd be difficult to put this match on like in the top three, but with Tyler Bate and Jordan Devlin being number one, I would definitely put this round about number 3 maybe. But again, fantastic match, some fantastic spots. We heard a lot of crashing, heard a lot of banging, and we saw, and I've got the video here of Flash Morgan Webster and Mark Andrews jumping off the ladder, doing a double senton onto Wolfgang through a table that was set up from the ring to the barricade outside the ring, and that was fantastic. I'm glad I got that. Brilliant, fantastic match. It would end up with all 4 teams putting in their massive spots. They all climbed the ladder, they all managed to get touch on the gold UK Tag Team Championships. There's only one team in this match that hasn't had a taste of UK Championship gold, and that is Imperium, Marcel Bartel, and the other one, just going mad, a quadrille going off next door. I can't think, it'll come to me in a bit. They're the only 2 that haven't had the UK gold. The other 3 teams have, obviously. Grizzled Young Veterans being the first ever tag team champions, winning the championship in Blackpool, in fact, last year. South Wales Subculture winning the championship in Cardiff. Gallus winning the championship. I'm not quite sure when they won their championship, but it wasn't that long ago. And obviously Imperium being there or thereabouts, never quite getting there. Fabian Eichner, there we go. I told you I'd find it in there somewhere. It's floating around somewhere. Again, like I say, really good match. Go and watch it on the network. My thoughts on this match: I really liked it. I talked to some wrestling fans afterwards, said the ladder match could have been a little bit more. I mean, what more do you want from a ladder match? There was high spots. Mark Andrews did a moonsault thing. My mind's just gone. Mark Andrews jumping off the ladder. Marcel Bartel getting thrown off the ladder to the outside and caught by all the other guys that are on the outside, Wolfgang going through a table. I mean, what more do you want from a ladder match than everything that they did here? You know, it's probably going to end up leading to the first ever TLC match in NXT UK, because chairs did come out and tables definitely came out. But I wish they'd just used a bit more of the space that was afforded to them in the crowd. I'm not saying you're going to climb up the balcony and jump off, because that'd just be stupid, but you know, use it. Use that space. That would be fantastic. I'd have loved to have had a ladder set up near where I was sitting, and a table, and Mark Andrews or whoever going through that table and putting someone through the table. So apart from having a big spot like that out in the crowd, it was fabulous. It was a really good ladder match, and certainly up there past most of the ladder matches that we've had very, very recently. So well done to all four of these teams. Gallus does retain after the dust has settled, and yeah, Gallus is still the champions, the tag team champions. Now my predictions, which I haven't posted yet at the time of doing this video, I did say that I think, because of all the stuff with the hotel, I would have done otherwise, I think that if Gallus retain, Joe Coffey is going to pick up the title, and if Imperium win, because I think we all said that either Imperium or Gallus is going to win this one, I would have been quite happy with the grizzled young veterans, to be honest. Then that would affect the result of the UK Championship match, and that is where we're going to go next. It is Walter, the current UK champion, versus Joe Coffey. Gallus. Really like Gallus, really love Joe Coffey as well. These two just beat the snot out of each other. We were there, we could hear the chops echoing round the room. I would not like to be on the receiving end of one of Walter's chops, because wow, they were just audible throughout the arena, and it was just ouch. But Joe Coffey did get the early start on this one. Took it right to Walter, knowing that Walter was the bigger guy and he was hard to break down. Even though he is a big guy, he's got a good gas tank inside him that allows him to do bigger matches and go for longer. It's almost like he's got an ever-ready shoved up his tights. And yeah, it's just, yeah, I mean, what can you say again about this match? It was great. There was spots. Walter hit his splash. Joe Coffey kicked out. There was a run-in. There was a ref bump. Chris Sharp bumped like a boss for Walter and Joe Coffey. Alexander Wolf would then come out. Ilya Dragunov would then come out. And in all the confusion, Walter would hit a splash, Joe Coffey would kick out, but then Walter would go to town, trying to make Joe Coffey tap, working the extremities of Joe Coffey, the contender for this one, and eventually Joe Coffey just had to tap. There was no getting around this one. Joe Coffey had to tap, and this is what I was saying about things being on the mat. We couldn't see that. Obviously they were positioned in a certain way for the cameras, and we absolutely we couldn't see any of it. But you know, we when Walter rolled off, obviously we knew that Joe Coffey had tapped. Well done to Joe Coffey. He's definitely got a UK Championship in his future, in my opinion. And yeah, gave those boys a big round of applause on the way out. But they didn't leave until a certain run-in. Walter was celebrating with Imperium in the ring. We were sat right next to where Adam Cole, baby, and the Undisputed Era made their run-in, and I should have that video here now because I realised something was going on. I tried to get my camera out so I could film it, and it just wow, it did. Wow, what a pop for this one, and to be there when it did pop was just wow, it was phenomenal. Had my picture taken with Adam Cole and the Young Bucks, and yeah, he was a really nice guy, so it's good to see him doing really well in NXT and in WWE. But yeah, Undisputed Era take down Imperium with their impending matches at Worlds Collide. It is NXT versus NXT UK at Worlds Collide, and yeah, the Undisputed Era draw first blood, so to speak, and then there's about 10 15 minutes of the Undisputed Era's music, and then Adam Cole baby and all that kind of stuff. Wow, what an end to the show. If you watched it on the network, you didn't even see half of it, because it carried on afterwards, and yeah, it was really good and such a good show. I'm so going to be there again next year, and I hope you are as well. And I know you've probably watched NXT UK Takeover Blackpool II by now, but if you are watching this video, thank you very much for watching. Join us on Twitter, Instagram and Facebook. It's nice to report from a WWE show live, and there is one more at least in my future and in your future as the Cheap Shot Nation, coming in 2020, and that's something to look forward to. Now, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, close to order. Get your merchandise. Can't pop it today because I'm wearing Eddie Dennis merch, but yeah, go over there. That helps us, gets us a bit of a kickback, and yeah, get a cool t-shirt or whatever you want to buy from there. It's all pretty much available to stick the logo on or whatever, and yeah, look cool at the same time. Anyway, I think you look cool. Look, you look cool anyway, Cheap Shot Nation. Anyway, yeah, thank you very much for watching. This is yeah, it will be the first wrestling video that I've done apart from the upcoming classic review of Royal Rumble 2000, which I did with Connor Mayhem of Aspire Wrestling Alliance, and incidentally I am now doing fitness classes with Aspire Wrestling Alliance and their champion Paul Malin. I just want to say thank you to Aspire Wrestling Alliance for accepting me as part of your family, and I'm really enjoying it. If you're interested in becoming a wrestler or just getting fit, or if you've got a kid that is really into wrestling, they do children's wrestling as well, children's wrestling sessions and lessons, and it's a great way to teach them that, you know, wrestling is an art and it shouldn't be done in school or copied on your mates, so to speak. So yeah, get down to Aspire Wrestling Alliance. Really good community-based company, charity-based, and it's just the people are just really nice, and they always put on really good shows as well. The next show is on the 26th, which is Royal Rumble weekend, and yeah, it's £5, £5 Get in contact with them, book some tickets. Really good. They do a raffle as well, which they didn't do in Blackpool, which I'm really disappointed about. And yeah, go and check out Aspire Wrestling Alliance, the home of Connor Mayhem and others on that show. Anyway, I've said that so many times already. I'm going to leave you there. Thank you very much for watching, Cheap Shot Nation. We hope you've enjoyed Takeover Blackpool 2 and this video. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.